You never know with these mega billionaires and how they measure their money and what's private and what's public. But Elon Musk is believed to be perhaps the world's richest man. His net worth now is estimated at above $400 billion. After co-founding and then selling PayPal, he set his sights to the stars by founding the space rocket company SpaceX. He has ambitions to get to Mars. All right, now SpaceX accounts for 90% of all rockets that he builds and launches reusable rockets now. And of course, we know about his work at Tesla, just changed the car market, right? Then he purchased Twitter. Then he teamed up with Trump and Republicans and to help them win the 2024 election, and he absolutely had a big impact, okay? So now he's a big player, and he is also a constant hub of controversy. But what criticism is actually deserved? Now, most recently, you know what's being said about him, that he made a gesture when he was up on stage that people are saying was a Nazi salute. Now, I didn't see it that way because he explained it as I send my heart out to you. That has not been satisfying to people who want to believe something else. Who would know the answer? I get criticized that I don't know what's in his head and his heart. Okay, I bet his father does, the man who made him. Errol Musk joins us now. Errol, thank you for taking the opportunity.
No, it's a pleasure.
And I know it's in the very early morning for you in South Africa, so thank you. Thank you for making the accommodation. What do you make, sir, of the suggestion that your son was making a Nazi salute up on stage?
It's absolute nonsense. Absolute rubbish. Rubbish. It's a universal salute, or as he said, throwing his heart out, I suppose. Yes, no, it's a universal thing for thousands of years. So that's rubbish. That's a rubbish.
What do you want to explain to people about how your son thinks in terms of helping them understand how to judge a behavior like that?
Well, I mean, what behavior? The behavior was fine. I can't see anything wrong with that behavior. I've seen since then a number of photographs of Obama and OAC, AOC, and so on using the same gesture. Nobody's worried about it when they make that sort of gesture. In fact, quite differently, in fact. So, again, it's just rubbish. I don't think it's a talking point. It's nonsense. It's just utter nonsense.
Good. Then let's move on.
Yeah.
I saw you talking about the maternal side of the family and concerns that you had and affiliations that they had. What do you want people to know? But specifically, do you ascribe any of the lineage on the maternal side to your son, that he's like his maternal grandfather?
No.
Or anybody on that side of the family?
No, not at all. The maternal grandfather passed away when Elon was 1 year old. So that's crazy. The other thing is that, my sons grew up with me, and I was twice a candidate for parliament in South Africa for the party that wanted to abolish apartheid. So rather focus on their father, who they grew up with and spent their life with, not with their mother. They grew up with me after we were divorced, and with me, they helped me in elections, as helpers for a party that was opposed to apartheid. And I was a candidate for that, for which I was spat on, screamed on, threatened with death, and so forth,
So Elon saw all that too. I saw an interview with him where he showed a dog tag, and he said, this was given to me by some of the parents of the hostages stolen from Israel that are still in Gaza, and I said I'd wear it until they're all home. To me, that was the end of the discussion about whether or not he had any anti-Semitic sympathies. He's wearing a dog tag to commemorate the hostages. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. But, my own mother's grandfather was Jewish. So from our point of view, we're sort of a little bit connected to the Jewish community. And no, we view the Jewish people as very capable people, and No, that's just nonsense. It's just nonsense. I mean, he's doing the nice thing there. I think there's two sides to the story in Israel. I mean, the Palestinians or the Arab Palestinians need their case to be looked at as well. So it's not just about supporting the one side or the other.
Absolutely. There are no winners in the situation right now, to be sure. Speaking of winners, how does it affect you as a father to see the image that I have up on the screen right now of your son standing behind the presidential seal of the United States and having been so of fundamental importance to now President Trump and the campaign, and arguably the most powerful private citizen in America?
Well, yes, it's very, very good. I mean, it's not new for us. In my country, in my way, I mean, I was similar in a way as a young boy. And, I was heavily into everything at an early stage, much like him, of course, at a much smaller stage. But it's part of the lives that we as a family have experienced. All my children have done well in their fields. Elon has, to a certain extent, broken the mold. But we're not sort of, sitting back. We would like to see more. Why not? I mean, we're very happy with him, very, very happy. And of course, he's new to politics. It was only about 4 years ago that he was a flaming Democrat, and quite opposed to Donald Trump, in fact. It took Biden and his gang to teach Elon a lesson and make him see the other side of the story,
So let's tell us about that a little bit, because people don't know this, that family's complicated. You had periods of estrangement with your son, but you're saying that politics was part of it and that Trump was part of it.
Yes, there's a party held for me when I was 70 here in Cape Town, and Elon brought about 50 people from America in private jets. They held this big party for me, and at the end of the party, Jon Favreau, one of the actors, there are a lot of actors and so on in this thing, said to me, "We believe you." This was in 2016. "You support Trump?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And the whole place, broke up into a cacophony of laughter. And, it was quite embarrassing for me and my two boys. And then they said to me, "Well, why?" And I said, "Well, he's just like us," which brought on more laughter. And so after that, I was left alone in that restaurant. And my sons came to me and said, "Couldn't you have just said something else? Like, I don't know, or I'm not sure." And, and they gave me a big dressing down and were very angry. I've never seen my younger son so angry, in fact. And we never spoke about it after that for a long time. Even though I made my trips there, we just didn't talk about things like that. And so I was quite, we've never even discussed it since he's changed. Because as a father, I don't have anything I'm not sort of wanting to say to him, "I told you so," or anything like that. But he started changing when Biden invited all the electric car manufacturers to the White House in 2021, but didn't invite Tesla. Tesla had built 1 million cars, and the other 5 manufacturers had built 26 and hadn't even sold one, and Elon had sold all his. So Elon couldn't understand that. He started calling Biden a lunatic and the government loony. And the result was that I said to him, "You're making political statements. These people aren't going to find this funny. They'll kill you. Have you got good bodyguards?" And then after that, he saw an absolute deluge of statements on Twitter telling him he's a piece of this and a piece of that, and he must be deported. And he couldn't understand it because he'd always thought he was doing good things. He was doing good things. And then they told him that Twitter is actually an arm of the Democratic government. It's not really, it's being run by the FBI for the Democrats. And he said in that case, he's going to buy it. And at that time, we thought Twitter was worth $7 billion for its database and so on. But in fact, they forced him to pay $44 billion, but he did it anyway and put an end to that. And then, of course, the rest of the story, he then joined with Trump. And he's now fully with Trump. And as he said at the election, civilization has been saved. I'm inclined to agree with him on that. I live in a country where we've had DEI for 30 years. And this was a very, very highly functioning country. Our currency was the second most valuable currency in the world. Since we've had DEI, the country has completely collapsed. We don't have any functioning departments anymore. All our government departments sort of half run, if they run. So we don't have a functioning airline anymore. We don't have a functioning railway system. We don't have a functioning post office. We don't have a functioning anything anymore.
I get it.
So that's South Africa from DEI.
I get it, and it's an important context to help understand where Elon's coming from in terms of what's shaping his decisions and what's changed his point of view. So, Errol, I appreciate you giving us this perspective. When we see what he does next with Doge or whatever it is, and if we're scratching our heads about why, I'm coming right back to you so you can help me understand where your son's coming from. Thank you very much for doing it.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Can I say something? I love your show. What a great show.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Errol. I appreciate it.
Much better than CNN.
You'll be back.
Much better than
All
CNN.
Right. I heard you. Have a good night, Errol. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Say hello to your son. Take care. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.